Imagine a highly contagious virus engineered to wipe out anyone with superpowers, an AI-generated Bible treating Homelander like actual Jesus, and an unstoppable speedster blasting through a Malibu mansion using Hollywood A-listers as human shields. The stakes have literally never been higher. Today, in this explainer, we're breaking down the single most chaotic, explosive timeline in the show's history.
But first, we gotta answer the single most massive, world-ending question of the entire season. What exactly is Sister Sage's Phase 2?
Let's dive into this. Because the answer? It's chilling. Total global destruction. Yeah, Sister Sage's ultimate plan isn't just about power or control. It is the complete and utter collapse of society as we know it. To understand how we actually arrive at this apocalyptic threshold, we have to track 4 wildly different points of view, and they overlap perfectly, like a relentlessly ticking clock. We've got Firecracker's morning broadcast, Black Noir 2's midday play rehearsal, Butcher building something truly terrifying in the afternoon, and it all culminates in the explosive evening Malibu massacre. 4 separate timelines, all completely unaware that they're about to collide.
So the crucial point here is, why does the smartest person in the world want to burn it all down? Well, it breaks down into 4 terrifying steps. Step 1 was always to help Homelander consolidate power. But Step 2, that's the real twist. Releasing the Supe-killing virus to deliberately trigger Step 3, a devastating global war between humans and superhumans. And her endgame, Step 4, is to retreat to a heavily fortified bunker outside Colorado Springs and simply wait for everyone to wipe each other out. Our sources reveal a deeply tragic layer to this, stemming from her grandmother, an ex-Black Panther who died of leukemia. A young Sage actually discovered the cure, but doctors completely dismissed and laughed at her. This deep-seated trauma basically fueled her hatred of humanity. Ultimately, she just wants to be left completely alone.
While Sage plots the literal end of the world, back at Vought headquarters, the Deep and Noir 2 are in this hilarious, totally desperate competition to win author's validation just to score points with Homelander. The Deep tries to pitch a new commandment about no adultery, but Noir 2 totally upstages him. Out of nowhere, the usually silent Noir speaks up and pitches a televised Pentecostal-style faith-healing event where Homelander miraculously cures Noir's ability to talk and fly. It is a highly calculated, cynical move to boost Homelander's ratings with religious demographics, and author absolutely loves it.
And speaking of Noir 2, his side quest as a dedicated theater actor leads to one of the most absurd and brutal Easter eggs of the entire episode. His acting coach, Adam Burke, meets a completely filthy end via a suspenseful Jaws-like sequence involving, wait for it, a live eel swimming up a toilet. Noir 2 tries to pull it out, taking Adam's intestines right along with it, leading to Adam's pathetic final words, "My heart hurts so much." It is peak chaotic absurdity.
Let's move on and see how this desperation builds perfectly into Firecracker's doomed arc. Her entire storyline is driven by a toxic need for Homelander's love. To impress him, Firecracker pitches a highly politicized Homelander Bible. The source material points out this satirical plot device includes the Old Testament, the New Testament, and get this, a New Testament. It features artwork of Homelander in a Jesus-like outstretched arms pose, and was entirely written by an AI trained on the works of conservative religious televangelists. The show uses this to neutrally mirror real-world political weaponization, really illustrating how extreme devotion can be packaged and sold to manipulate the masses.
But Firecracker's loyalty requires a steep price. She meets with her childhood pastor, Reverend Dupree, a man who genuinely cared for her when she was young and hungry. Yet, to maintain her status on television, she goes on a live broadcast, crying fake tears, and utterly destroys her beloved pastor by falsely labeling him a pedophile. It's a heinous, calculated lie. She knows it's fundamentally wrong, but she does it anyway, just for a crumb of Homelander's approval.
And the brutal irony is, none of it matters. Homelander eventually discovers Firecracker has been sleeping with Soldier Boy, but he doesn't even care about the affair. He cares that she expressed doubts about his divinity. Despite her desperate pleas that she worships him, he completely rejects her. In a flash of brutal irony, he ends her life by smashing her head into a patriotic eagle statue. The very symbol of the American weaponization she championed is what literally destroys her.
This brings us to the craziest location of the entire timeline. Mr. Marathon's house is an insane treasure trove of Easter eggs. It's loaded with fake movie posters mocking Sony Pictures TV superhero movies. He's got a secret room full of vintage Vought propaganda, Liberty bonds, you name it, even pinball machines. But most notably, the mansion serves as a massive meta reunion for actors from the show Supernatural, since creator Eric Kripke brought in multiple stars to play these washed-up Supes.
The mansion is also hiding a group of real-world celebrities playing themselves, including Seth Rogen and Will Forte. The source material uses them as a cynical jab at performative activism. When people engage in superficial support while remaining disconnected from reality, these actors sit around a poker table, terrified of political unrest, pitching ideas to have Lena Dunham write an article, or talking about how their roles as movie characters somehow inspire the world. They're engaging in superficial support while hiding out in a luxury mansion, totally disconnected from the very real stakes happening right outside their doors.
8. That is the massive number of celebrity human shields Soldier Boy uses to survive when chaos finally erupts. Mr. Marathon starts using his super speed to attack, running so insanely fast he literally explodes people on impact. So what does Soldier Boy do? He strategically tosses 8 different A-list celebrities, including Seth Rogen, right into Marathon's path just to slow him down. The chaotic massacre finally comes to a sudden halt when Homelander, who had been knocked unconscious by sleeping gas earlier, wakes up. He takes one single look at the situation and immediately crushes Mr. Marathon's head, abruptly ending the Malibu timeline.
Dialing the stakes all the way back up to 11, we have to check in on the boys, whose morality is being absolutely torn apart. And this brilliantly illustrates how the looming threat of the Supe-killing virus is destroying the team from the inside out. On one hand, you have Butcher's ruthless drive to locate the V1 virus and destroy every trace of it so Homelander can never get his hands on it, collateral damage be damned. On the other hand, you have Huey and Mother's Milk, who have a moral desire to use the virus to potentially save Kimiko and Annie. It is a classic crossroads moment, and their choices here are going to define who they really are.
But while Huey and MM are debating morality, Butcher's taking matters into his own hands. We see him in his workshop surrounded by strange equipment that heavily resembles the Russian tech originally used to torture Soldier Boy for decades. Which leaves us with one massive, terrifying question. What exactly is Butcher building? Is he planning to capture and torture Homelander? Or does he have an even darker target in mind?